Now we are turning, as Scott walks away, searching for positive thoughts, to our monthly theme, Appreciate Now.
So far this month, we've talked about how to appreciate our kids, how to appreciate our spouse. Today, we're going to turn that topic on ourselves.
Julie Hanks with Wasatch Family Therapy is going to help us think about our own contributions just a little bit differently. And Julie, you want to point out first, just the word appreciate packs a serious punch.
It does. We rarely think about the word appreciate in terms of ourselves. So I looked up the definition, and I thought all four of these we can apply to ourselves. It's to grasp the nature, worth, quality, or significance of, to value or admire highly, to judge with heightened perception or understanding and be fully aware of, and to recognize with gratitude. It's so easy to apply those to other people and other parts of our lives, but for this segment, we're turning it on ourselves and learning how to appreciate who we are.
What do you think it is? What stops us, prevents us from being able to appreciate our own talents and our own accomplishments?
I think there are three things, Darren. I think it's comparing ourselves to others, perfectionism, having unrealistic expectations, and then self-criticism, or those negative thoughts like you were talking about with Hillary earlier.
What's the first step then to appreciating who we are?
I think the first step is to cultivate self-compassion. There's an amazing researcher, Dr. Kristen Neff, and she's written the book on self-compassion and done a lot of research. And she's narrowed it down to three basic components of self-compassion. And the first is self-kindness, which is simply treating yourself the way you would treat someone else. We beat ourselves up so often in our mind. And I tell clients, I say, you know, if you treated other people the way you treat yourself, you'd have no relationships. So applying that kindness, recognizing, you know, oh yeah, it's okay that you struggle. You can comfort yourself and not be so hard on yourself.
You know, we all make mistakes. Do you think that's part of this, is acknowledging, recognizing the fact that we're making mistakes and accepting those as well?
Yeah, I think really accepting and embracing actually imperfection.
Wait, we don't have to accept them, we have to embrace our imperfections too?
We do. Here, and Dr. Neff talks about the second component of self-compassion is common humanity, or recognizing imperfection, suffering, hardship is common to everybody. And when we're struggling or feeling negative about ourselves, we tend to feel so alone. We're the only ones going through this.
You're isolated.
Right, whether it's a divorce or a chronic illness or a loss of a child, we think we're the only ones. And everyone has imperfections. And so to recognize we're all in the same boat helps us appreciate, okay, I can appreciate myself and value myself even though I'm imperfect.
You brought our attention to a piece of art that you feel teaches this concept in a really beautiful way.
Yes, and it's called Be Where Your Feet Are. And I love that. And my friend Laurel Christensen called my attention to that at a workshop that she did. But what I love about that is that it reminds us to be mindful. And that's actually Dr. Neff's third component of self-compassion is mindfulness. Just being where we are, embracing what is happening right now. I love this quote that if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. And when we live in the present, that's when we can really appreciate who we are.
You know, there are different things there. You also say that we need to add some drops of awesome. What the world are drops? Yeah, what's a drop of awesome?
Okay, so that comes from a really great blog post from the blog Daring Young Mom, and she talks about the self-criticism that she's trying to combat. And she realizes that every time she thinks a positive thought or recognizes and appreciates herself, it's a drop of awesome in her awesome bucket. And nothing can ever drain the awesome out of the bucket. You can only add to it. And so often we think if we're imperfect or we make a mistake, we lose something, but we never lose our bucket of awesome.
I
thought that was so cute.
It's a visual, right? And it just has to be a little drop. So at the end of the day, we know, and we've discussed on this show, the power and the benefit of appreciating other people and recognizing their accomplishments. What is the benefit we will see from appreciating ourselves right now?
Well, I think we'll feel good about ourselves. Our mood will improve, and we'll be more available to other people, which is ultimately the goal of taking care of and appreciating ourselves. Is there's more of us to offer to the world. And it just feels better to be happy with ourselves.
It feels good.
Yeah.
You get those drops of awesome. There's more awesome to share with other people when you can recognize you've got them there.
Exactly. Exactly.
right.
So be so good to ourselves.
Julie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Julie, of course, is the director of Wasatch Family Therapy. They offer counseling for children, for families. They specialize actually in women's issues, and they have 3 office locations. So to check out their website, go to wasatchfamilytherapy.com.